Good morning, everybody. How's it going? There we go. All right. Well, my name is Kartik. I'm one of the co-founders of ETH Global, and I am super excited to welcome all of you to Pragma. Now, this is a conference. If you know ETH Global, you know that we're known for doing two things, running hackathons and summits. And Pragma is our in-person version of one of our summits. Now, today is going to be a very short day, or just one day, of a lot of content, and the next 3 days are for the hackathon. So what I'm going to do is focus on what today's all about. Every Solidity developer knows that all smart contracts start with the word Pragma. For us, it's not just the beginning of a developer's journey, it's the beginning of a call towards pragmatism. The goal here is to help all of you understand and talk about where things are going in Web3 and reflect on all the learnings from the past and to really use that to make a better future for the space. And what we're doing this for is to make this a more widespread event for bringing more people who are just at the edge of understanding what's exciting about Web3 and have them be in this room to learn about what's happening without them knowing how to code or knowing all the specifics that we kind of have for all the other things that we've seen in this space. So to kind of go back and summarize why we created Pragma, the goal here is to keep it very simple. The goal here is to make this a single one-day event and make this an event where the speakers are founders or researchers in this space, which means that you're hearing everything that you're going to see today from the people who are helping make this world possible, and the ideas directly from the founders of the company or the protocol that you have used or admire or want to learn more about. Everything is single track, which means we're not confusing you with 50 things going on or things happening in parallel. Everything happens in this room. If you want to get food, go downstairs. If you want to talk to some of our partners, go downstairs. If you want to learn about what's happening in Web3, you stay on this floor. And the focus here is on the future, which means that what we're going to do is focus on a lot of the beginnings of how things started, but really talk about things from the perspective of how to actually use all of our learnings from the past and make better decisions in the future. And just to make sure we're fair to everybody, this whole event will be mostly non-technical, which means that you may see a couple of things that require you to know certain acronyms, but we're intentionally keeping a lot of it very high level, and you get to really understand what's going on. And if you're interested in something more, you get to go in deeper on your own, or we get to kind of have you talk to some of our speakers and ask them those questions and follow-ups directly. What this means is there's only going to be 2 panels and 3 talks for today. And the rest of it is going to be interviews. This makes it easy for us to really condense things. We get to really think about how we want to present and talk about the different content for all the topics we have in place. So everything on the schedule will be mostly interviews, and you get to really understand things from a conversation versus kind of hearing or seeing a lot of slides. So that's kind of what the goal is for all of today. And I'm going to sort of go into some of the logistics before we get started. As you all checked in, you may have seen this card, and this is actually the schedule card. You kind of, at the back of it, has all the information about what today looks like. You can see all the speaker names, you can see all the talks and the times and everything. And all of that also will be on our website, which is going to be the source of truth. So you can just head over to ethglobal.com/pragma for all things about today. But I want to take a quick pause and just make sure we talk about who is here today. There's over 500 attendees from 53 different countries. I know a lot of you came in from different parts of the world for the hackathon, but we got so many more people who are local here to come attend Pragma, and that kind of made us really happy to see the stats here, because the goal for Pragma was to actually make it a event for people who are local in that city to understand what's happening in this space. And we saw over 60% of them being locals from the UK. So it was good to see that. On top of that, we have 10 incredible partners. They're all here today. So you actually get to talk to them. You've probably already seen a lot of them downstairs, but I just want to quickly thank them as well, which is Laplace FinTech, Mercurio, Razike Sync, Stargate, Worldcoin, Avail, Filecoin, Near, Gnosis Pay, Safe, and Powerloom. So you get to also meet all of these people today and learn about what they're up to. And we'll also have some of them talk and share more about what they're doing as part of some of the interviews. Now, what I want to do is thank a certain set of people here today who made this really cool for us. A lot of you in this room purchased the London pack. And if you don't know what this is yet, for the people who didn't, I'll take a quick second and talk about this. We introduced a new thing called packs just a couple weeks ago. And the goal here for us was to use the platform that we have and the ability for us to do in-person and online things, and really use that as an opportunity to blend what's possible with physical and on-chain worlds. And as part of that, we introduced this thing called Pack, which is a collection of perks. And London was our second pack that we offered right after we did the first one in Denver 2 weeks ago. As part of buying the pack, you get not only access to Pragma and a bunch of credits like Uber and eSIM for being here if you're roaming, to a gym pass if you're here for the hackathon, but also a lot of the other events that are happening this week. And over 160 people have bought these packs, and they're in the audience today. So I want to thank all of you for buying this pack. We've been getting a lot of feedback on having people kind of just things that we can improve, having people kind of actually redeem and play with these perks. And it was super exciting for us to actually see this in real life. And at the end of the day, the goal here is to make this as a new primitive, which is these are 721s. These are minted by us, but are extensible by anybody. And you get to blend in on-chain and off-chain experiences, which means that once we kind of make them go out there, and once you mint one, you get to use it, but anybody else can also extend it. And we saw just that. And if you were watching the notification group yesterday, we added 2 more perks just yesterday, and 2 more events kind of said, hey, we can offer this to the pack holders. So as long as you go back to the website, you get to see actually a couple more benefits. So the goal here is for us to keep doing this thing and trying more and adding more to these packs. So thank you so much for getting a pack today and kind of seeing this interesting on-chain experience. And with that, I'm going to go back to talking about Pragma. So we have a pack day today. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just do a quick overview of what the schedule looks like, and we'll jump right into our very first talk of the day. So we're going to start off with Justin talking about Ethereum sharing. Then we're going to have an interview with Stani just to talk about the history and evolution of Lens protocol, especially now that it's become permissionless. We're going to have Frederick from Dune talk about the history of Dune and how we can now think about doing analytics at scale. Then we're going to have Harry from Jensen talk about how do we actually blend in crypto and AI together and kind of what are the possibilities there. We're going to then have our first panel, which is going to be on the evolution of wallets and kind of what does it mean to kind of think about the new definition of what wallets are and how do we actually make that more consumer friendly. We'll then break into lunch. We'll resume in an hour. And then we're going to have our second panel, which is going to be on account abstraction. So these are the 2 authors of EIP 4337. And you get to kind of hear about where account abstraction is headed and what's some of the new things that are in the works. Then we're going to talk to Nick from ENS about how things are going with the ENS protocol and the ecosystem. Then the next interview is going to be with Lucas from Safe. And we're going to talk about how Safe has been incredibly dominating everything in this space and how we can think about more decentralized ways of managing multi-sigs. Then we're going to do another interview with Anurag on data availability from Avail. We're going to take a break again. And then we're going to have Marcos an interview around Gnosis Pay and how we think about future of payments in a new decentralized world. Then Angus is going to talk about Stargate finance. That's going to be our second talk. We're going to have a fireside chat with Vitalik, another fireside chat with Stargate from Chainlink, and our last talk of the day will be by Tomas, talking about what's happening in the world of MEV, and this might be slightly more technical or the most technical thing we have today. So after that, we're going to go into the after party, and we'll kind of get to mingle around, but there'll be a lot more opportunities here for you to talk to each other, so don't worry too much on that. And everything I've said here is also on the back of the card and our website. So without further ado, let's get started, and please welcome our first speaker, Justin Drake, on stage.